What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Getting Weird. It's been a while. I got sick for a little bit. I had no voice. I've been wanting to record for a little bit, but yeah, I got sick. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any out there getting sick. Please stay healthy. Keep yourselves hydrated, liquidated, whatever you got to do. Take your pills, take your vitamins, take whatever it is. But yeah, I got sick for a little bit and I had no voice. And I was going to try to record one, but I figured I couldn't come out here and be like, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. So... yeah, but it's fun. Today, we got something a little different. We're going to change it up. I know we usually do ghosts. I tried the outdoor thing one time. That video was, whatever. But, I got another one of my favorite topics. It is UFOs. Love UFOs, aliens, all that good stuff. I think when it comes to like that stuff, you're either fall in two categories. Either you're 100% that aliens exist, or you're like, there's no chance. There's no there. I guess maybe you can. No, there's two. I'm sticking to two. You either 100% believe or you 100% don't. And I 100% believe. I just think this universe, there's too many things out there in space. If you believe in space, if you're a flat earther and don't believe in that stuff, well, this might not be the video for you. This might not be the video for you. But if you're reasonable like everyone else out here, just the universe is too big for there not to be something else, someone else, some things else out there. I don't think that was English. English majors out there, maybe correct me. I don't think that was English. I kind of gibberish right there. But it's just there's too big of a universe out there. There's got to be something else. Now, whether or not they come here, that's what this video is going to prove or disprove. We'll find out. We'll see what we got going. But we got 12 unexplainable UFO sightings caught on camera in 2024. Shocking footage. What's the channel here? What is it? The Lab something? Let's see what we got. It's Lab 360. Lab 360. Shout out Lab 360. Please go subscribe to them. Let them know what you guys are thinking. Lab 360. 12 unexplainable. Let's see. Hold on. The settings here on this thing are. There's a reason why I can't like see it here. Quality, dude. 420. No wonder. There we go. Gotta get that 1080p up in here, dude. We don't do this like weak stuff here. This is a legit production. We got stuff going on here. But yeah, 12 unexplainable UFO sightings caught on camera in 2024 by Lab 360. Shout out Lab 360. Please go subscribe and let them know what you're thinking, because I'm about to let them know what I'm thinking. But let's get right into it. Let's get right into it here. All right. Let me know in the comments if you're a believer, non-believer, if maybe this video turned you into a believer.
You might be a non-believer or a skeptic.
See? He's all ahead of me.
But you have to agree that the craze for UFOs and aliens are at an all-time high right now. Not just people, but governments around the world are setting up departments just to keep track of all the UFO activity. After the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023, which compels the US government to share all UAP data with the public within 25 years. The US...
Let's be real though. It compels them to share all data, but there's no chance they share all data. If there's stuff that they really don't want out there, shout out to like the JFK files and stuff. That's maybe, can go into your conspiracy minds and stuff. But if there's stuff they really don't, they'll find a way to keep it classified for longer. There's stuff out there that just should have been declassified. It hasn't. It's been long enough, and it hasn't. So, trust me, not everything is going to get declassified. Just saying.
US military is now developing portable UFO detection kits that will help military personnel get more information about UAPs as and when they appear. All these advancements in worldwide governments, with regards to UFOs and aliens, just goes to show one thing, that we might actually not be alone. And to add credibility to that thought, we are going to take a look at 12 of the best UFO sightings in recent times.
Let's fucking do it.
Shockingly, many of these footages have been taken by trained military personnel themselves. So without wasting any further time, let's jump right in. Welcome to Lab 360.
Also,
it's time
if I've seen these before, I'll let you know if I've seen them. I've seen a lot.
Jellyfish UAP in Iraq.
Oh, I know this one. It's good.
This footage was first released on January 10, 2024 by investigative journalists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. Jeremy Corbell is a filmmaker and ufologist based in Los Angeles. He obtained this footage from 2018 of a military-filmed UAP incursion within a United States Joint Operations base in Iraq.
Look at this little fucking thing,
This UAP was immediately nicknamed the Jellyfish UFO because of its jellyfish-like appearance. The U.S. military drone monitoring this UAP could only view it in thermal vision. The drone that was designated to track this UAP has the potential of locking in on the tire of a remote car from as far as 27 miles away.
Jesus
But this
Christ.
advanced U.S. military drone found it difficult to lock on to this
Dude, just when you thought you're like, oh, dude, there's nobody within 20 miles of me. I got nothing but privacy here. You got your trousers off, you're out camping. These motherfuckers are sneaking in on you, just zooming in on whatever they can zoom in on. God damn, 27 miles, dude? That's some crazy shit. All right, my head goes into fucking weird stuff. Okay.
Jellyfish
Moving on.
Thus indicating that
27
some alien
miles.
technology was trying to jam the signals of the drone, so that the UAP went undetected.
Look at this
And
fucking
the odd
thing,
part is it kept going white and black, meaning hot and cold instantaneously, so as to not get detected by the thermal vision camera. Which goes to show that this UAP knew it was being monitored for the heat it was emitting, and made immediate modifications to go undetected, thus
homies?
implying that a sentient being was
vatos?
operating that UAP. After hovering over the US Army base for some time, the UAP then went out over a body of water, plunged into it, and stayed underwater for close to 17 minutes. And after 17 minutes, it shot out of the water at a 45-degree angle with tremendous velocity and disappeared. Did the UAP go underwater to hide from the US surveillance drone? Or was that part of its mission to survey the underwater area around the military base for further weaponry? Whatever be the case, the US military has no idea what it was. And if
So this one I know about. That he said Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. If you're unfamiliar with George Knapp is like a journalist, like I guess journalist is the easiest way to put it. He's an investigative journalist. He's the one that broke the story, I think it was like 20 or 30 years ago, about the Bob Lazar thing. If you haven't looked into the Bob Lazar or don't know about the Bob Lazar thing, it's a super cool story. The guy was on Rogan once. I think that's how I originally heard the whole story. But he was like a whistleblower that used to work on like a secret base, like Area 51 style, but even more covert than that. And he described like all the stuff that he saw there. And initially he said a bunch of stuff like about himself and then what was going on there, and then obviously everything came out and was like, he's a liar, none of this is true, and they try to discredit him. And over the years, journalists like George Knapp and other people have come to discover that just about everything he said was going on. One, that they said the base never existed. Turns out it did. They try to say he never went to Caltech, and then he did. He came out with this. He said there was this and this new element that they discovered that was part of like the UFO. They had craft and actual beings, and there was a new element that they used, and they're like, that element doesn't even exist. And then turns out that element does fucking exist. They discovered it like 10 years ago. So more and more of like what he was saying turns out to be true. His stories, it's a crazy story. It's too much to kind of get into, but the whole Bob Lazar thing, it's super cool. If you're into this kind of stuff, I'd go and look this up. But this one I'm familiar with because I've heard about this story. The guy that gave George Knapp the video of this UFO or UAP, I guess they call him now. But he was a guy, basically another kind of whistleblower guy that was trying to give him this video, and there was a big thing about like if he released this video because it's a classified video, would there be issues with the journalist releasing? Could he get in any trouble? And basically he was like, no, it's just the guy. If they find out who the guy who leaked it to you, he could get in big trouble. But there's a 17-minute video thing. But the thing I wanted to touch on is there's a whole thing about like UFOs in water. that they're starting to come out more, that you see them around water most of the time. You see all these planes and stuff. They're over water, hovering over water. There's stuff that people see. I'm in Southern California. The closest thing here is Catalina, like the islands. There's a lot of stuff there. People see them go in and out of water. So now they're starting to think that maybe these things have been here longer than we think, and just because of how they work and the way their propulsion system works, they don't necessarily can only stay in air or go on land. We don't have any kind of capability of doing something like that. They can do both. There's no drone that can do that. But yeah, so now they're thinking maybe these fucking things have been here a lot longer than we think, and they're just living underwater or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's a whole crazy thing. The whole water thing. I wonder if maybe this will touch on it more of the video as well. But it's pretty interesting. Sorry, we'll get into it. Enough of me rambling and giving you my stuff.
And if this UAP sighting was mind-boggling, wait till you see the next 11. Number 2, UFO seen by Colombian pilot. This sighting took place on May 4th, 2023 over Antioquia in Colombia. The footage was captured by the pilot while flying in his Cessna T-303 Crusader. According to him, the object was first seen floating and appeared stationary at a specific point between Medellin and Santa Fe. As they approached the UAP, it suddenly moved towards them. He then moved his plane around and started filming.
Wait, is that the video? That's the actual
as
video?
He did so, the UAP started moving.
I thought this was like a recreation. Holy shit, look at this thing.
He managed to avoid the UAP while flying at a speed of roughly over 300 kilometers per hour. The pilot expressed fear during the encounter, insisting that the object was neither a balloon, a drone, nor any known object.
Fuck no, that wasn't a fucking balloon or a drone.
Similar
look at that thing.
Flying spheres were also seen in other parts of the world. Let's continue to know more.
Dude, that's a good one.
Number 3, UFO seen by Ukrainian soldiers during the Russia-Ukraine war. Russian President Vladimir Putin recently said that he would use nuclear weapons if NATO deployed their troops on ground to fight against Russia alongside Ukraine. And it was after this horrendous nuclear threat by Putin that a mysteriously eerie-looking UFO was seen by Ukrainian soldiers. This is the second time that a UFO has been spotted in a war zone. Normally UFOs have been seen above cities and also over mountains. But rarely have UFOs been spotted during an active war by soldiers. The footage shows Ukrainian soldiers from the 406th Battalion totally speechless and horrified after seeing the UFO right in front of them. You can't blame them for such a reaction, as for a minute they actually thought that it was a new Russian aircraft that was ready to attack them with a nuclear weapon. But this UFO was disc-shaped and...
It's kind of grainy-ass video, but the thing with that he's saying about, like, it's like the first military, I don't know how, like, that true that is over a war zone. Maybe I guess a war zone, you could say, but I hear stories, or I've seen videos, you see this a lot, where the water thing is one, and two, they're always around some kind of military base. They always get videos, and there's crazy stories of like UFOs that landed outside of military bases, or they hover over military bases, especially ones with like nuclear capabilities. Like, there's all kinds of theories on why they do that. That's for people to speculate, but there's definitely videos of like military and stories of military stuff. I think I could be wrong. I guess he meant war zones, but
and was completely stationary, floating in air for the entire duration. This completely bamboozled the Ukrainian soldiers, who can be heard swearing in Russian, out of fear of not being able to comprehend what they had just witnessed. The scary footage was captured by a heat vision quadcopter drone used by the Ukrainian armed forces. This mysterious hovering object bears a striking resemblance to the Baghdad Phantom, a skinny, cylindrical object spotted above Iraq in May 2022.
That's like a missile right there.
Heat camera of a U.S. Air Force Reaper drone. And this was not the last time that trained military personnel came across alien spaceships. Number 4, UFO seen in the Middle East. The U.S. Department of Defense released this classified footage in April 2023.
I think I've seen this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I
somewhere in the
think...
Middle East. The exact location has not been disclosed.
Let's see.
A military drone captured an apparent silver orb-like object that crossed the sensor's field of view. This video was recorded on July 12, 2022. The Department of Defense has said that in spite of multiple analysis, the object still remains unidentified. The flying object seems to be a round metallic shiny sphere moving in a straight line. Then suddenly it moves to the right when the military drone tries to lock onto its position. This shows that the highly advanced technology of the UAP was able to detect the US military drone without any physical contact. Even till the end of the video, the military drone was not able to focus on the UAP as it kept dodging the sensor. Then 1 year later, in June 2023, NASA held a press conference to talk about that particular UFO sighting. NASA is also closely working with the Pentagon to find out what exactly they had encountered in the Middle East. But this was not the first time that such a metallic sphere was seen by military personnel. As we move ahead, you will be shocked to
that one's not bad. That one's pretty good, because it's the classic like UFO pattern type thing. You see there's some kind of sphere, cylinder, and no actual like evidence, or I guess you could say like you can't see some kind of propulsion. There's no... Obviously, when you see a plane go by, you can see the stream from the jet. That's like the engines that the jet is making. The sounds from jets that are flying by. But these things, they're silent. So nobody really knows how these things are like propelling themselves. There could be a theory about they're kind of bending gravity around itself. So it's like almost making like a little force field around itself, and it's pulling itself along bending gravity. So it's really kind of making itself weightless. Obviously, we don't have any capabilities like that, at least that we know of. Who knows if, they've been able to reverse engineer, because 100% the government has some of this stuff from crashed objects or whatever it may be, and all that stuff. I don't know if they reverse engineered any of it to... It could be the government testing this stuff out, but... it's one of those like interesting things, because we never know how the hell they do it, and the maneuvers that they make. From planes can only go a certain direction, and they can only change so fast. Because then it puts the limitations on like the human body, because as you start to move faster and turn, the faster and steeper you turn, you create more G-force, which is the classic where you see the guys in the video just when they pass out, it's just from G-force. These things they're going 1,000 miles an hour. They make a hard right, and it doesn't seem to affect it in any way. So it's kind of crazy. I look into this stuff a lot. If you guys haven't, well, this may be your introduction to it, but it's pretty interesting. I always like the mysterious and trying to figure out how all this stuff works. So, all right, let me get back into it. I'm rambling again.
To see how close some UFOs got to the armed forces. Number 5. Triangular craft seen by the U.S. Navy. This footage was again leaked by ufologist Jeremy Corbell, who had earlier released the Jellyfish UAP
ufologist.
Video.
How's that work for picking up chicks?
The video was recorded by U.S. Navy personnel and was captured with a night vision camera from the destroyer USS Russell in 2019. This was then leaked by Jeremy Corbell in 2021. The government's classified briefing clearly mentioned that the triangular UFO was definitely not owned by the United States or any other country or even a private spaceflight
It's like flashing.
Some think that this might be an advanced version of the Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit, also known as the stealth bomber, that the US military might have been testing at that time. The stealth bomber too has a triangular shape and has a similar flight pattern. Surprisingly, the military personnel who recorded this video said that the UFO was behaving in unexpected ways. In addition, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, set up in 2020, couldn't determine what the craft was. Another massive UAP sighting bearing the shape of a triangle took place in Florida, USA.
I thought he was going to talk about the Phoenix Lights.
Number 6. UFOs
That's a
spotted
super
in
famous
Sunrise, Florida.
See, that one right there, it's kind of tough because it could just be like a thing we're testing. And obviously, not every military personnel is going to know about top secret, like, plane fights like that. Like, if we're testing some new type. Like, when we were doing the bomber, that's the stuff they did in Area 51. If you didn't work at Area 51, you had no fucking idea we were doing the stealth bomber, you know? So I don't know. That one's kind of like, it could be just we're testing some kind of new plane. The flashing thing is kind of weird, but planes fly, you know, like when they fly over you, you see the lights flashing. So maybe that's what that is. Who knows? But that one's that's okay.
This footage was recorded at night from a doorbell camera in Sunrise, Florida in 2023.
Oh, doorbell camera! Hey, shout out.
3 UFOs can.
Sorry, I hate to. I'm pausing this right here. I got a coworker, my girl Jess. She sent me. I wanted to put this in the video. It's just kind of hard, and when I put it over, it comes out too grainy. But she's got a Ring doorbell of a UFO that she spotted, and she sent me this shit because it's kind of crazy. So shout out Jess. It's pretty good. It's like comes across and it's like streaking across, and it almost wants to look like a comet, but there's not. It's too slow, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. If I can figure out a way to make it less grainy, so it's like not as like you're not sitting there squinting, then you will see it hopefully in my next video, or maybe I'll put it at the end of this video if I figure it out by the end of it. But okay, yeah.
Can be seen to move in the formation of an equilateral triangle.
Bastard.
Such a formation would be very difficult to maintain when moving at high speeds by any of the current known aircrafts. The UFOs then eventually disperse in different directions. An eyewitness recorded another footage of the same event from another part of Florida, adding credibility to the sighting. This footage gives us a better understanding of how far apart the 3 UFOs actually are from each other. When seeing the first footage, initially it looks like a singular ship with 3 lights shining at its 3 edges.
Yeah.
But later you can clearly see that the 3 UFOs start acting independently, and move in opposite directions in precision synchronized fashion. Such synchronized movement has been seen at drone air shows. But it would have to be a very large drone, almost the size of an airplane, to shine so brightly in the night sky from such a high altitude.
And we would hear it.
People
Drones
in Florida
are not quiet.
Those
things are fucking loud.
About what they witnessed that fateful night. But wait till you see the UFO that almost scared the Chilean military personnel.
See, that's a good one. Because people say
7,
drones and stuff.
UFO spotted.
People say drones and stuff, but the thing with drones is drones aren't quiet. If anybody's ever had a drone around them, those things are buzzing around you like crazy. They're not quiet. So something that big would be and 3 of them would be making so much noise. If you've ever seen like a drone show where they do like the light shows, if the music's not playing, you can hear all those sons of bitches up in the air. So if that was a drone, I mean, obviously drones can do it, and I know there's probably out there people fucking doing stuff with drones, and it's playing with people's minds because they know that this stuff is going on, and it's the new craze right now. Hence you boys watching videos. But I don't think it's a drone. Those things, like you said, it's too high, too bright, and it's not enough noise. You can hear planes from 30,000 feet. So
spotted in Chile.
What's up, Reminators?
In 1997, the Chilean government officially created a committee for the study of anomalous aerial phenomena. The committee was created with the sole purpose of studying all reports of UAP activity by commercial military and civilian pilots. And one such documented incident that was highly publicized took place in 2014.
The background is kind of a banger.
Chilean naval officers came across a UAP while flying along the coast of Santiago in their helicopter. What they encountered left them totally dumbstruck and confused. They were at a height of about 4,500 feet, and for 9 straight minutes, they kept recording this strange-looking UAP. At first glance it looks like an elongated rocket moving horizontally. But as time goes by, the frontal part of the UFO moves ahead, leaving behind a long horizontal part. Even after studying the footage for 2 years, the Chilean military was unable to identify this unusual aerial phenomena. Also, it seems like aliens have a secret base on the moon. Let's continue to know more.
Hold on. Hold on. Secret base on the moon. Secret base on the dark side of the moon. We saw this. Transformers made a movie about this. We already discovered this is late news. Megatron is chilling in the back, dude. I mean, come on. You're not breaking anything news in 2024. The Decepticons have been there. Dude, what? Michael Bay has already told us that this is a thing. So I'm just saying. But the Chilean one's good. That's another one. It's like, how is this thing moving? The propulsion. But yeah. Okay.
Number 8. UFOs spotted on the moon from Moscow.
Shut up.
UFO activity is not just something
Optimus
that happens
Prime.
on Earth, but on our natural satellite as well. A photographer from Moscow, Russia, captured something on the moon that left him totally spellbound. Anyways, there are conspiracy theories that the moon is an alien base, but this footage just solidified such beliefs. Back in 2019, a Russian photographer set up his equipment to shoot a full moon over the city of Moscow. And while trying to focus, he saw something very unusual. At first glance, he could see 3 circular objects moving near the surface of the moon. And then when he tried to refocus,
oh, this isn't the one I thought I saw. There was another one like this.
Now there were multiple circular UFOs moving at the same speed from left to right over the moon. It seemed like an entire battalion of UFOs was flying out for a mission over the moon. Analysts are still not able to deduce what exactly these flying circular lunar objects were.
What the fuck?
And seems like one of these alien spheres made it to South America.
Whoa!
Number 9.
That's a good one. Here, let's go back to this here. The reason I think so initially I was thinking, oh, this dude's just got stuff like on his camera. But the reason I don't think it's that is because you can see him pan to the right, and if it was something on his camera, it would move with him, but they stay behind. So
analysts are still not able to deduce.
He moved to the right, and they didn't go with him, so it's not stuff on his camera.
And seems like one of these alien spheres.
Could he? I don't know if it's possible. Maybe if it's because from down here, maybe the satellites just wouldn't. I don't know. Could he just be like, there could be the satellites passing through orbit right in front of like where he's doing that at the same time? I don't know if that's possible to pick them up. Would they seem too small from this far away? I don't know. Maybe it could be that. That's why it explains why. Because there's thousands of satellites up there. I mean, we could see the Starlink from down here. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if like, maybe he's zooming in, he's getting some satellites, and then the moon's behind it. I don't know if that's a possibility. If somebody out there can let me know if that's possible. That could be an explanation because they're moving in unison. A lot of these satellites I know move in unison. So, I don't know. I could be. Maybe that's one. Maybe that's one. Maybe it's not.
Spheres made it to South America.
Could be an explanation.
Number 9. UFO seen by a commercial pilot in Colombia. This by far has got to be one of the most hard-hitting evidence for UFOs that has ever been caught on tape. The one-of-a-kind video was recorded by the pilot of a commercial airplane in Colombia. In February 2020, an Airbus A320 was on a routine flight soaring over Medellin, Colombia. At about 30,000 feet in the air, the pilot decided to pull out his phone and record the view. But to his astonishment, he spotted a metallic cube with pointy edges moving seamlessly.
Yeah, look at this little son of a bitch.
Now,
this is a fucking
if
good
this
one.
was a weather balloon, it would sway from left to right, but this seemed to be moving forward in one direction.
It's hauling ass,
it was
too.
being propelled by a powerful engine of sorts. A similar object was spotted by a U.S. fighter pilot in 2018 over the Atlantic.
Dude, let's go back here. Look at this little son of a bitch there. Like, it's not a perfect ball. It almost looks like if you ever opened up like a Tootsie Pop, like the lollipop, how it's like cylinder and it's got the little ring around it, almost like a little mini Saturn. It looks like if you look at this thing, like just like I can't zoom in, but look really close to this. Maybe I'll try to zoom in, but look at really close, like on the little top edge. You can kind of see almost like there's something there around it. This little bastard this is a good video because It's clear. It's good quality, and it's not doesn't feel it doesn't look like it's filmed on a fucking Nokia. Like, do you see some of these like videos out there? You're like, what is this, a fucking flip phone? What are we doing out here? But yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, this is a pretty solid one.
A similar object was spotted by a U.S. fighter pilot in 2018
What's at the center of
over
a
the Atlantic Ocean at an altitude of 35,000 feet.
The center of a Tootsie Pop?
That UFO has still not been identified, and its structure seems to be very similar to the cube-like structure that was seen by the Colombian pilot in 2020. Whether these are alien manned spaceships or just probes sent to monitor the area, neither the US nor the Colombian military has any clue. But these UFO sightings are nothing compared to what the US military encountered in California. Number 10, UAP spotted by Navy pilot in California. US Navy pilots often fly over states for routine naval operations. But back in 2004, during one such routine aerial surveillance operation, a Navy pilot captured something very unusual on his radar. This incident took place off the coast of California. At first the pilot thought there was some error with his radar. But after some time, he realized that it was indeed an aircraft hovering right in front of him.
I don't know where you've been. It's everywhere.
It was an
social media
oval-shaped object that kept hovering in its position for quite some time. Even the pilot who recorded the footage said that this craft was not behaving according to the normal laws of physics. After noticing this weird craft, the pilot reported it to the Department of Defense. For nearly 16 years, the Pentagon kept this video classified, but in April 2020, the Department of Defense released this video to the public. 2 other classified videos were also made available to the public in 2020.
Almost looks like a little dreidel.
The last UAP sighting even made the U.S. military personnel jump out of his seat. Number 11, UFO seen by pilots in 2015.
That last video, whatever, there's like a longer video. You can look it up. Just look up. It's not Tic Tac, but it's just look up like military sees UFO on thermal, and it'll be one of the top ones that comes up. It's pretty cool because you can see it, and it's like moving, and they break down how fast it's moving, and then you can see it tilt and move over, so it goes from like a saucer to more like a dreidel. Like if you guys see an Inception, it looks like the little thing he spins to keep himself like it balance. Leo at the end spins it, and did it fall? Did it not? It looks like that thing. So it's like tilting, and it's going like this, and it's even twisting. So that's why they like when he says they were describing it as like something that doesn't move, like something they know. It's because planes don't do that. They don't rotate on like a big 360 axis like that just at will. So it's a pretty cool video. It's a super cool video.
The second classified video that was made public involved pilots coming across a flying saucer, moving at tremendous speed.
This is the one I think they call the Tic Tac video.
This incident took place in 2015.
I'm pretty sure
near
it's like
the east coast of America.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The pilots seemed bamboozled on seeing this UAP at first. What further shocked
oh no, this is it. This is the one I'm talking about.
Movement of the craft from left to right, that it maneuvered mid-air while traveling at great speeds.
Oh fuck, guess I was wrong. I thought the last video was trying to talk about this one.
The UAP was moving against the direction of the wind, which on that particular day had a speed of 120 knots, approximately 138 miles per hour. Thus, this flying saucer would need to possess immense power to move at such great speeds in spite of such obstruction.
See, it looks like a little dreidel.
The Department of Defense is yet to establish what exactly this UAP was. Number 12, UAP seen by Navy pilots over the ocean. The exact location of this final classified sighting has not been disclosed. But just like the previous 2 videos, the Pentagon made this classified video public in April 2020. This sighting took place just a few months after the tilting flying saucer was spotted on the east coast of America.
This has to be the Tic Tac one that I'm talking about. Yep, this is it.
A metallic sphere.
Jesus Christ, I kept saying the Tic Tac video, the Tic Tac video. It's because it looks like a little fucking Tic Tac flying through the air. And once you see this video, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the Tic Tac one that I kept talking about. This one and the one before this are like the 2, they were everywhere. If you haven't seen it, I don't know. You have a different feed, I guess, than I do on Instagram, because my shit pops up with this stuff all the time. And yeah, this is the famous Tic Tac video. It's been everywhere. So
here, moving in a straight line, racing across the surface of the ocean. This also bears a striking resemblance to the metallic sphere that was spotted in the Middle East in 2022 that kept dodging the sensor of the military drone. Luckily, the skilled U.S. Navy pilots were able to lock onto the metallic sphere this time around.
It's hauling ass.
The Pentagon released the above 3 videos with a statement saying that the Department of Defense is releasing the videos in order to clear up any misconceptions by the public on whether or not the footage that has been circulating was real, or whether or not there is more to the videos. The aerial phenomena observed in the videos remain characterized as unidentified. And that's the same story even today. None of the UFO sightings have ever been confirmed with any concrete physical evidence. But UFO and alien hunters alike are hoping that 2024 will finally be the year in which humans will get to see an alien spacecraft in real. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe to Lab 360 for the latest revelations in space exploration.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. Don't forget, subscribe to Lab 360 if you like their videos. I think that top 12 thing was pretty good. All 24. Some of those I've seen, some of them I haven't. The Tic Tac one, like I said, is a super famous one. But yeah, but when it comes to this like UFO stuff, do I think that the government knows more than they let off? Of course they do. Any person with a fucking brain out there could probably figure that out. There's all kinds of stuff. There's crazier stories out there. There's I forget. It's like a documentary about it was in the 90s in Brazil. I think the city's called Virginia. Look that up. The Bob Lazar story, look that up. Don't forget. And then the Virginia UFO thing. That one's nuts. There was like a whole UFO that crash landed. There's like stories of the people who saw the aliens running around in the town. And like they drew pictures, like these 3 little girls, like kids walking home, like ran into the thing, hiding into the bushes. There was like a military guy who caught one and like picked it up and got some stuff on his arms, and whatever he got on his arms like made him super sick, and he died within like 24 hours. They like hid his body and stuff. It's like a crazy fucking documentary, like the Virginia UFO incident. I think it's what it's called. Look that up if you want some good UFO stuff or good alien stuff. Those are crazy ones. But yeah, as always, please subscribe. This stuff is fun to me. I like doing this. Let me know what you think. Am I talking too much? Not enough? Do you want more stories? We can do story times by Omar. Getting weird here. We're gonna keep doing stuff like this. UFOs, ghosts. It's the stuff I like. We'll get into Bigfoot at some point. That's another one you either believe or you don't. But please subscribe. Let me know how we're doing. Hit the little fucking follow button, whatever it is that you want to do. I'm going to be working on doing some shorts, some clips, getting other socials and accounts and things like that going. Right now, I'm just kind of doing it when I can, when I have like some time and stuff. It's fun. I do miss doing it, so there could be a stretch here where you're going to get some more consecutive videos and not have such a big gap in between them. But as always, guys, please have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you, guys.